From poisonous plants to stampedes, here are 7 insane stories of nature's revenge. Number 7, the drowning. There's nothing like a nice relaxing swim on a hot summer day. But for some people, this can quickly turn into a nightmare. Take the case of a group of friends in Wisconsin who were swimming at Devil's Lake State Park in 2019 when they encountered a massive wave. It struck them out of nowhere and dragged one of their friends underwater. When he resurfaced, his face was pale and he was having trouble breathing. The group pulled him out of the water, but by that time it was too late. He had drowned. This tragic accident left many wondering what caused such a large wave to appear out of nowhere. Well, the answer might surprise you. The deadly wave wasn't caused by a boat or a storm, but by a rock. Just one single rock. According to park officials, the rock was dislodged from the cliffside by water erosion and made its way into the lake. When it hit the water, it created a small earthquake which generated a massive wave. In short, they were unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sadly, this is not the only instance of a rock causing a drowning. In 2011, a similar incident occurred in Australia when a rock fell into a lake and created a deadly wave that capsized a boat and killed 2 men. While these accidents are rare, they do happen. So if you ever go swimming in a lake, it's important to be aware of your surroundings and keep an eye out for falling rocks. Number 6, the tornado. Tornadoes are among the most violent natural disasters on the planet, capable of leveling entire cities and causing unimaginable damage in just minutes. People who have witnessed these destructive storms describe them as scenes from a horror movie brought to life. And it's no wonder why. These twisting columns of awfulness can reach speeds of up to 300 miles per hour, destroying everything in their path. They can suck up cars, houses, and even trains, hurling them through the air like toys. Even if you're not caught in the tornado itself, the winds surrounding it can be just as dangerous, reaching speeds of over 100 miles per hour. The sound of a tornado can be just as terrifying as the storm itself, with some survivors describing it as a roaring freight train. The low pressure inside the vortex causes the air around it to vibrate, creating a deafening roar that can shatter windows and damage buildings. When a tornado strikes, there is little time to react. Many survivors report seeing the storm coming, but it can be difficult to tell how strong it is and how much damage it will cause. By the time most people realize they are in danger, it's already too late. With homes being ripped apart and lives being lost, tornadoes are a reminder of the incredible power of nature. Number 5, the lake monster. We've heard stories of sea monsters since we were kids, from the Kraken to the Loch Ness monster. But what about monsters that live in lakes? Meet Champ, the alleged monster that lives in Lake Champlain between New York and Vermont. For centuries, people have reported seeing a mysterious creature in the lake that is part horse, part snake, and all scary. Champ is said to have a long neck, a horse's head, and a serpentine body, and it's so big that it can swallow a whole boat. Of course, there's no proof that Champ exists. But that hasn't stopped people from trying to find it. In fact, there's even a whole society dedicated to tracking down this elusive beast. But Champ isn't the only lake monster out there. In 2014, a fisherman in South Africa claimed to have caught a monster on camera that was part human and part fish. The creature is said to have washed up on shore in the small town of Barrydale, leaving residents both terrified and intrigued. Some believe that the creature could be a new species of fish, while others claim that it's evidence of a government conspiracy. But perhaps the most famous lake monster of all is the beast of Busco, also known as the Lo Scoglio. This creature is said to inhabit a small lake in Italy, and it's been described as a scaly, dog-like beast with sharp claws and a taste for human flesh. If you're planning on taking a dip in the lake anytime soon, you might want to think again. No. 4. The mountain. Mountains are often seen as symbols of strength and endurance. They're also really good at killing people. Every year, hundreds of people lose their lives in national parks across the United States. Most of them in the most popular parks like Yosemite, the Grand Canyon, and Zion. Most deaths occur in mountainous areas where people fall while hiking or climbing. But sometimes the mountains take things a step further. In 2019, a woman was crushed to death by a boulder while hiking in Rocky Mountain National Park. A year earlier, a man was struck by lightning while climbing Long's Peak in the same park. And in 2017, a rock slide killed 3 climbers in Yosemite Valley. One of the most well-known cases of a mountain taking a life was the death of Eric Storm. In 1996, Eric and his sister were climbing Mount Everest when they became stranded in a blizzard. Eric's sister survived, but Eric perished, becoming one of the most well-documented deaths on Everest. His story was immortalized in the book Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer, which detailed the events leading up to the disaster. Krakauer blamed himself for Eric's death, saying that he could have saved him, but didn't. To this day, the story of Eric Storm serves as a reminder of the power of the mountains and the importance of respecting their power. Number 3, the tree. Trees are an essential part of our ecosystem, providing us with oxygen, food, and shelter. They help to clean the air we breathe and provide a home for countless animals and plants. But trees can also be dangerous. You probably know someone who has been injured by a tree, whether it was a branch that fell on them or a leaf that got stuck in their hair and wouldn't come out. But these small annoyances are nothing compared to the destruction a tree can cause. In 2011, a woman in Oklahoma was killed when a tree fell on her house during a storm. The tree was so large that it took several hours to remove. And in 2008, a boy in Florida was killed when a tree fell on him while he was playing basketball. Sometimes trees can even attack you without warning. In 2009, a man in California was walking through a forest when a tree suddenly fell on him, crushing him to death. In 2007, a woman in Colorado was jogging through a park when a tree branch fell on her head, killing her instantly. These stories are not isolated incidents. Every year, thousands of people are injured or killed by trees in the United States alone. Number 2, the flood. Floods are one of the most common natural disasters in the world. They can cause widespread destruction, washing away homes, businesses, and even entire communities. Floods can be caused by a variety of factors, including heavy rainfall, snowmelt, and storm surges. In some cases, floods can occur gradually, while in others, they can strike suddenly and without warning. When a flood occurs, it can have devastating consequences. Homes and businesses can be destroyed, crops can be ruined, and lives can be lost. Floods can also leave behind a mess that can take weeks or even months to clean up. Despite the devastation they cause, floods are an important part of the water cycle. They help to replenish groundwater supplies and provide habitats for a variety of plants and animals. In some cases, floods can even be beneficial, such as when they deposit nutrient-rich sediment on farmlands. However, when floods occur in areas that are not prepared for them, the results can be catastrophic. That's why it's important to take steps to mitigate the risks of flooding and to be prepared in the event that a flood does occur. Number 1, the volcano. Volcanoes are a powerful force of nature that have the ability to destroy entire cities in a matter of minutes. They are formed when molten rock, ash, and gases are released from a vent in the Earth's crust, causing massive explosions and the emission of hot lava flows that can travel for miles. The devastation caused by a volcanic eruption can be both physical and psychological. The sudden release of energy can cause widespread destruction, leveling buildings and other structures in its path. The hot lava flows and pyroclastic surges can burn and bury entire communities, causing significant loss of life and property. Additionally, the eruption of a volcano can have far-reaching effects on the environment and human health. The ash and gases emitted during an eruption can contaminate water sources, destroy crops, and disrupt air quality. Volcanic eruptions can also trigger other natural disasters such as tsunamis and lahars, which can cause further damage and loss of life. The psychological impact of a volcanic eruption can be just as significant as the physical damage. The sudden and unexpected nature of these events can cause widespread panic and trauma. Witnesses of a volcanic eruption may experience long-lasting emotional and psychological effects, including post-traumatic stress disorder. Thanks for watching. Do you know any crazy nature facts? Share them in the comments below. See you next time.